Errol Spence, tune-up or straight to Terence Crawford at 154? Does weight matter? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, Errol Spence, a lot of talk going on right now because I think Errol Spence has just a few hours left to actually activate the rematch clause. Everybody's curious, is he going to activate? Has he already activated? Will he activate? And then there's a discussion going on about what happened in the first fight. Was there PEDs involved? Was he weight drained? I wanted to break that down for anybody listening. Give my 500 nickels while we talk boxing.
I heard y'all was talking shit about me. Pull up over here.
Who was talking shit?
Y'all.
Terrence said what he said, but if we said anything, we gonna stand on that shit.
Damn.
Cause I'm the one. I said, Earl, I don't think you could beat Terrence because you wear too much drip, man. Terrence look like he be somewhere lifting cows and shit.
All right, y'all. So should Errol Spence take a rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, or does he need a tune-up first?
But we can get it running with a little tender loving care.
Okay, let's take it back to the projects and fix it up.
Me personally, I don't think he really needs a tune-up. This is a guy who fought basically 3 champions in the welterweight division, beat all 3 of them, had a heck of a career in between those championship fights, beat everybody. No doubt about it, he won all his fights up into Terence Crawford. So, I don't think experience is a problem. I don't think technique is a problem. I think that the only problem Errol Spence had was the problem that he continuously told people about before that fight happened, and actually even before the Manny Pacquiao fight and Ugas fight was announced. That he couldn't make the weight anymore. And I'm watching this fight for a reason, because you just saw Keith Thurman get knocked down by a smaller guy. Naturally the bigger, guy going into that fight, naturally a bigger welterweight than most. And he got dominated by a smaller guy. Why? Even he said, he couldn't make 147 comfortably anymore. Even though nowadays he's still trying to get back to that 147 high plateau that he was on once, in his career. But he's like in between 147 and 154 because it's uncomfortable for him to make that weight.
Both of them are really skilled fighters, and I got to talk to Terence. I was like, I like the fact that, I like the way he kind of broke away from his promoter. I like how he get mad in the ring. I just like how he fight. But I never really got to talk to Spence. But I always thought he's dead nice now. He not to be played with. And to be honest, when people were like, who's going to win the fight? I was like, because I know Terence or got to meet him.
Now, why is it uncomfortable for him to make that weight? Because those type of fighters, the Keith Thurmans, the Errol Spences of the world, normally are in a division that they don't belong in. They just happen at that point in their career or at that age to be able to still make those weights and not feel off and not feel uncomfortable and not feel like their body is depleted after they make the weight. Now, after this fight, Thurman, he had to admit that the weight was becoming uncomfortable for him. Errol Spence, ever since the Manny Pacquiao fight, the Ugas fight, and the Terence Crawford fight trying to take place, has always admitted that the weight has become uncomfortable for him and that it's harder for him to make the weight.
I'm not good at cutting weight. I'm good at losing weight. So let me deal with that real quick. So, you know what? Let me do something real quick. Let me call the master. So I'm about to give some people some exclusive conversation that, from our experience, right? You're a professional bodybuilder. I'm good at what I do, right? In my opinion, the way these boxing coaches, that drastic losing weight and cutting weight, in my opinion, is the wrong way to go about it. You deal with people losing weight also because they have to diet down for the bodybuilding shows, right? Yeah. If I had a boxer and I was doing his nutrition to lose weight, me personally, what I would do is I would just manipulate their macros to where if they want to be a certain weight by a certain time, that by them just working out, eating their macros, they would come down naturally to make weight versus coming down and then having to lose 5 or 10 pounds in a week or a day. Right or wrong?
Nah, you definitely, you absolutely correct. Like I trip off that all the time because I done worked with a couple of MMA fighters, and they do the same thing where they'll like lock down on their meals like 2 weeks before they fight. They steadily killing themselves, sitting in the dang sauna wearing that old bag, trying to sweat and all this other stuff and starving themselves. It don't make no sense when if you just diet throughout your entire camp, you could slowly lose that weight, you'll come in strong, and then by the time you weigh in, after you get off that scale, you get the carb up.
You know, I think as a fan, sometimes we don't listen to these fighters because we built them up in our head as superheroes, and we don't want to actually believe that there's something that those guys can't do. But even the great Manny Pacquiao had his moments to where there was something he couldn't do, and even though he's so talented, in the Floyd Mayweather fight, he was injured and he couldn't perform with both arms, so we only got to see half of what we normally see. In the Terence Crawford fight, Errol Spence couldn't make the weight, and it showed. We didn't even get to see half the Spence that we normally see. We didn't even get to see a quarter of the Spence that we normally see.
How boxers are having dietitians and nutritionists instill 10 pounds 2 weeks out before the fight, 7 pounds right before the fight. It makes no sense to me.
Because really, in all actuality, though, it seems like to me, cats just always go back to what they know. I'ma say this: the few nutritionists that I've been peeping at, a lot of these boxers work with, bro, they stuff don't even really be accurate like that. And I'm not saying that from a hate standpoint. I'm just telling them, keeping it real. I pay attention to that stuff. I even call out the nutritionists in the bodybuilding world, like straight up, bro. Like they'll say they doing this or that, and then the calories and the macros don't even match up. Or like I've been seeing lately, dudes with these videos, they act like they making meals, but I don't even see a food scale, so the food's not even proportionate.
It's not even.
And this is the reason we got the results that we did. I don't take anything away from Errol Spence, and I don't feel like he needs to refine his whole career off of one loss. I just think that, you know, as a fan, and maybe I pushed him into something he couldn't accomplish. But here's the thing about Spence and me as a fan now. I actually give Errol Spence more credit just for taking the fight than I did in the beginning. Because he could have very easily said, you know what? I cannot make this weight anymore. I'm dropping the titles. I don't need Terence Crawford. I can move up. I can fight my buddy Charlo. I can move up. I can fight Tim Tszyu. I can move up. There's plenty of fights up there for me. Plenty of money waiting at 154 for me. Plenty of money waiting at 160 for me. Hey, I could even drop this title and go fight Boots at 154 because he's already said he would take that fight. But no, he didn't do that. He did the admirable thing. He did the commendable thing. He said, everybody wants this fight. I want this fight. The fans really want this fight. The boxing bigwigs really want this fight. And maybe even though I know in my mind I'm going to have to do some drastic things to cut this weight, I'm going to make this happen for myself, for history, and for these fans. And that's exactly what he did. And I do nothing but pat Errol Spence on the back for that, even though he lost.
Bro, they don't understand. It is a science to losing weight, and I tell people all the time, when you see a bodybuilder in off season versus when they have a show, they know how to manipulate the body with the food better than anybody on the earth. When I got in the bodybuilding world, even though I wasn't a bodybuilder, that's when I learned it. You see what I'm saying?
He lost like a warrior, like a champion, like a man, like I want to see other boxers do. Win or lose, you guys are the gladiators of today, and you got to get in there and prove, win or lose, why you deserve to be on this plateau, why you deserve these millions of dollars, why you deserve my $99.99 when it comes to fight night. So, you know, Errol Spence proved something to me, and I take away everything that I ever said about him when it comes to the Pacquiao fight. Now, I still believe what I believe about that fight, but I will never press that again because of what he just did in this Crawford fight. He showed me his heart, his determination, and his willingness to make the best fights out there, not for himself or for financial reasons, but for me as a boxing fan.
If a boxer would really just let go of that old way of trying to make weight, they weight train themselves and weight train themselves and weight train themselves. So by the time they'll get to the scale, they trying to hurry up and pump their body with all these carbs and stuff like that, all the water and stuff like that. When if you diet the entire time, you will have the entire week to fill yourself up with carbs. So by the time fight night comes, it's night for whoever you in the ring with.
Period.
I done you a favor last time, you know. Can you do me one this time?
I want to show you something now. Test you. Right. Now look, you look right there at the end of my nose.
Okay.
You? I want to test you. Now forget it, kid. You got the heart, but you ain't got the tools no more. Now forget it.
Well, maybe it's you who ain't got it no more, you know that? Huh?
Yeah.
Yo, let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tubes or holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel or my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are mighty.
I need a chick that's down the ride. I had one that claimed CK like Calvin Klein, so she hate when I wear blue. She like keys, I ain't trying to share you, but I'm prepared to. I had a West End chick, she the opposite. See me in my Louisville jersey, get the knocking it. She stay around to see how fat a player pockets get. Yeah, they stick around even though I get around. The fact I'm a player hard to get around. Had a rich girl chilling out in Middletown. Had a Iroquois chick, had to sit her down, cause she kept going to the club getting wild. Had a Newburgh girl, but she wasn't live. But she had a ride and she let her play a drive. Had a Valley girl, had to put her on the side. Told her we could settle down when I'm 35.
Bitches in every hood.
I keep it tight, you know I be right back.
I got bitches in every hood.
I keep it real, I ain't trying to match.
I wish that they understood.
Just chill, maybe get it on.
I got bitches in every hood.
It's Louis Keys, it's the Lord. I had a girl out in Prospect. She always tell me money ain't an object. I left alone for my girl in the projects. She always tell me keys you can cop it. You can't knock it, cause she beautiful. Her black Lucy Lou, get her nails done, put my name on the cuticles. See us out and about on the usual. Might take her to the mall and the movies too. But after that, don't try me. I got a sugar mama chilling out in Shavely. And if I act wisely, she provide me. So it evens out. Gotta speak about my Indiana girls, can't leave them out. Out in J City, looking way pretty. Through thick and thin, I hope they stay with me, but they probably won't, cause I got them other things with me.
Bitches in every hood.
I keep it tight, you know I be right back.
I got bitches in every hood.
I keep it real, I ain't trying to match.
I wish that they understood.
Just chill, maybe get it
I got bitches in every hood.
It's Louis Keys, that's the Lord.
Bitches in every hood.